What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new scenario. So I've done a couple scenarios where characters turn good, and one where Kakarot stayed as Kakarot, making him quote-unquote evil, but I haven't really done a scenario where someone actually just stays evil. Barring that Kakarot one, but that's different. So I have one here that's pretty straightforward, and also I think could have easily happened. Today we'll be covering a scenario where Vegeta stays evil, never actually turning good. But what causes this and how does it affect everything? Let's begin. So I did something kind of like this before, although it wasn't really the main focus. There was a scenario I did where Vegeta went Super Saiyan on Namek, and it was vaguely similar at the beginning, but the focus wasn't Vegeta staying evil, even though that kind of was a consequence of it. But here the focus is Vegeta actually just staying completely evil. The reason I bring that up is because the beginning here is going to be kind of similar, in the sense that it focuses on one small thing, something that actually was about to happen and could have easily happened. We only need a simple change. While Piranha is active, right before Frieza finds everybody, Dende is about to wish for Vegeta to become immortal. They didn't really have any other choice there, and they thought that's probably their best bet. Better to make Vegeta immortal than try and face Frieza. Of course, that didn't happen. Piranha disappeared at that point because Guru ended up dying early. So they didn't get that final wish, and it was later used to actually transport everybody. The change here is tiny but has huge consequences. Simply, we let Guru live a few seconds longer. I don't think it's unrealistic, and he still will die, but a few seconds is enough for them to get a wish. Something as small as this changes the entire course of the story. So Guru doesn't die before they get their third wish, and Dende goes ahead, making the wish to make Vegeta immortal. And that's our big change here. Vegeta gets his wish to become immortal. Piranha grants it, and right off the bat, Vegeta doesn't really feel too different, but he's assured that the wish did go through. Piranha then disappears right after, and just as the Dragon Balls spread out, they then suddenly just fall back to the ground, having turned into stone completely. Which is normal because that's usually what happens when they use the Dragon Balls, but Dende says they're not supposed to just fall to the ground like that. That means Guru must have died, and they got their last wish within the last few seconds. Either way though, they know it's been granted. Vegeta is now confident that he could defeat Frieza. Sure, there's a huge gap in power, but if he's immortal, that won't matter, because he has a really good plan of what to do here. It's not going to be easy, and it's definitely not going to be painless. But whatever it takes, he'll do it. Plus, he's pretty happy, he got what he wanted. Being immortal must be great, and it looks like he's about to find out what that truly entails. Frieza finally arrives, landing in front of everyone, and seeing Vegeta looking weirdly confident. Must be him deluding himself into thinking that he's not dying here. And deep down, Vegeta is a little bit concerned because he doesn't know how this dragon's wish will affect him, but he asks for immortality, so that must mean he can't die here at all. He doesn't know how he'd feel right now without this, but he might be able to find a path to victory here. Frieza did see the dragon too and hears that they used up all the wishes, and Vegeta taunts him even further too. Not just that, those stones in front of them right now, those are the Dragon Balls. Not only did Vegeta use the last 3 wishes, but the Dragon Balls are completely done with. Piranha is gone. Frieza will never have a chance of getting them again. Of course, this infuriates him, and he's gonna have to take that out on Vegeta. He planned on killing them all anyways, but especially after hearing this, he's fuming. But what did they wish for? Vegeta says Frieza will find out soon enough. He doesn't see any huge changes here. He's looking like the same pathetic weakness he was gonna fight before. He doesn't realize Piccolo's been brought back, and he's gonna come here soon. And as of now, he doesn't realize that Vegeta has changed. So, the fight begins. Vegeta versus Frieza in his first form. And as he is right now, Vegeta can't really do anything against him. Even with just his first form, Frieza's doing perfectly fine. And he has the upper hand at first, but as they keep fighting, and Vegeta continuously gets injured, he starts to heal a bit from it too. And he of course notices this. He thought maybe he'd have to actually die for the immortality to take effect, but no. He doesn't need to take lethal damage. It seems any sort of severe damage will activate it. Small things like cuts or bruises aren't going to do it. But it seems anything that could lead to a fatality gets instantly reversed. So even if he takes a small attack and doesn't necessarily die right away from it, if there's even a slight chance that he can't die from it, it gets reversed. Basically, he heals any sort of damage that he views as serious. So slowly his power grows during the fight, and Frieza wonders how he still has so much energy left. First he was easily fighting Vegeta, but Vegeta's getting a second wind. His power is slowly increasing with small Zenkais. And Vegeta knows he can't exploit this entirely. At some point it will have diminishing returns, and he could already kind of feel that, especially with how Frieza's not doing anything major to him right now. But at some point, Frieza tries to end it. He points out a finger, launching a death beam right through Vegeta's heart, and Vegeta falls to the ground, seemingly dead. The others wait in anticipation to see if he gets back up, and they kind of know that he will, but he's taking a bit. So Frieza just laughs after killing Vegeta, and then focuses on the rest of them. But he hears a laugh behind him as Vegeta gets up, hitting Frieza with an unexpected attack. He thanks him for that. Looks like he got a nice boost from it. Frieza can see that there's a hole in his armor, but not a hole in his chest. His first thought is maybe that attack wasn't strong enough, and he kind of held back a little bit too much. Maybe Vegeta actually is that strong, so he's gonna have to hit him with a stronger attack. Frieza then launches a powerful blast. It completely disintegrates the top half of Vegeta. A pretty disgusting sight for everyone else, especially Gohan and Dende. But everyone, including Frieza, watches in awe as he regenerates from it, and this flat out confirms it to Frieza. Vegeta's regenerating from these attacks. He wished for immortality, didn't he? And Vegeta laughs even more. That specific attack let him grow a lot. The closer he's brought to death, the further he grows. And he can't die, so he can get huge increases in power from this. The damage before was nothing compared to what he just did. Frieza just gave him 2 big power-ups. Vegeta then vanishes from Frieza's sight, appearing right in front of him, hitting him with a powerful gut punch, knocking the wind out of Frieza and causing him to stumble back, coughing up blood as well. He tries to hit Vegeta again with a couple of attacks, but they do nothing. He already knows Vegeta's immortal, but he's also grown stronger just from that attack, and he realizes how bad of a combo this is. A Saiyan can grow stronger from these types of things. Him being immortal is bad enough, but especially when they can grow stronger from taking damage, that really does give Vegeta the advantage. But Frieza refuses to believe that. Immortal or not, he doesn't care. He'll make Vegeta suffer the worst pain of his life, and he'll find a way to kill him. His power's really that great. They're only just scratching the surface. And Vegeta taunts him further. Sure, he wants to see that power. Besides, the more power Frieza shows, the more Vegeta can grow. Frieza then transforms, cycling through his forms, and not even going into his second or third form. He immediately goes to his final form. He doesn't have a scouter on him, so he doesn't know where Vegeta's power stands right now, but there's no way it contends with his final form, and regardless of if he's immortal or not, Frieza has some ideas in mind of what he can do here. Now the tables have turned. Frieza's the one with a false hope. He thinks that he could actually kill Vegeta, but what he doesn't realize is that nothing he does will work here. Just around this time in the fight, Piccolo arrives, wondering what the hell's going on because he just fused with Nail and he was ready to fight Frieza himself, but he sensed that huge power from so far away. There's nothing he could do here, but he also felt another strong power. It was Vegeta. Krillin explains what happened, and Piccolo's not really too sure what to think of it because Vegeta still is kind of their enemy. Even though Vegeta temporarily worked with them here, still, he was actively working against them at the same time, and the whole reason they came here in the first place is because of Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz coming to Earth. Even though it seems like an enemy of my enemy situation right now, they need to remember, Vegeta is not on their side. And Krillin obviously does recognize that. Same for Dende and Gohan. But the thing is, they really had no other choice. Frieza was about to come here, and Vegeta kind of did make a good point. And look what's happening. It's working. So now the question is, how are they supposed to deal with the fallout? Because once Vegeta inevitably defeats Frieza, what are they going to do? Well, Krillin thinks that maybe they could just do another wish to make him not immortal. Dende's not entirely sure because he doesn't know the extent of what those wishes would be capable of. But theoretically, if they did get a stronger set of Dragon Balls, maybe they could wish for that away. Although Piccolo's not really too sure. From what he knows, at least from Shenron, they can't really make wishes that are stronger than the creator, particularly if the target isn't willing. So while it might seem like they're trying to overpower a wish by Purunga, really they're overpowering something that's innate to Vegeta now. They can't wish that away. The only way they can do that is getting a set of Dragon Balls stronger than Vegeta at the moment, which is impossible. They only know about Shenron and Purunga. They just think that these two sets exist. And Purunga's gone. And as for Earth's Dragon Balls, they're definitely not strong enough to do this, and they need to use them to revive everybody anyways. Kami's about to use them to revive everybody that died here on Namek. Piccolo does have one idea in mind, and he doesn't really like it, but it's probably their best bet. They're gonna need to retreat. Thankfully, Vegeta's preoccupied. He might not notice them leaving, and even if he does, he might not even care. So they do that. They try and leave covertly. Frieza's too focused on surviving right now, and Vegeta's too focused on beating up Frieza, and he kind of wants to prolong this too. They don't even notice this. Piccolo and his crew fly over to Goku, finding the ship that he's healing on, and they decide maybe they should just take this ship back to Earth. They find Bulma along the way, thankfully. She says maybe it's best to take Goku out of the healing pod and just go back to Earth in their own ship. At least this one she can fly. Goku still does need to heal up a bit, but he should be healed enough. If he's not going to have to fight here, then they don't need him fully healed. He could just heal the rest on the way back. So they open the healing pod. Goku isn't fully recovered, but he's not seriously injured anymore. They gave him just enough time. He did also get a nice increase in power too, and Piccolo fills him in on what just happened. Although that's not even necessary, Goku just reads their thoughts. You guys remember when he just did that out of nowhere? Yeah, that's kind of funny. Anyways, Goku knows exactly what's going on, and while he would like to fight Frieza, everyone here is urging him to leave. Plus, knowing that Vegeta's immortal, he's not going to win that fight. They're probably going to die here. He could push himself, but then he'll risk everything. They already got Piccolo back, which is great, and that means Kami too. And while Namek's Dragon Balls are gone, which means they probably can't bring Chaozu back, there still might be a way if they revive the Namekians and get another set of Dragon Balls. At least that's what Piccolo thinks, thanks to his knowledge from Nail. Same for Dende, so they could still bring Chaozu back. As for Ten and Yamcha, they could bring them back with the normal Earth Dragon Balls. Either way, they have options here. And one of those options is definitely not to fight Frieza or Vegeta. There's no reason to do that. It is kind of a bummer for Goku. He traveled all the way here just to fight the Ginyu Force. But it was still fun nonetheless, and at least they got what they wanted. Kinda. They wanted to revive everybody. And it's gonna take a bit longer, but they still have a path to doing that. If they stay here, that destroys their chances because then they'll all die. Particularly Piccolo. If he dies again, Kami dies, and then they won't be able to revive the Namekians, and then they won't have any Dragon Balls to revive anybody. They need to at least preserve what they have. So reluctantly, Goku agrees. They convince him. There's nothing he could really do anyways. They all retreat. Meanwhile, the fight between Frieza and Vegeta rages on. Frieza eventually does power up into his 100%. There's still one thing he hasn't tried. He grabs onto Vegeta, dragging him out into the vacuum of space. Saiyans can't survive out here. He wonders how immortality will handle that. It is incredibly painful for Vegeta. Besides the lack of air, it's a vacuum. A very cold one at that, with a bunch of radiation. Sure, his body can handle it better than a regular human, but being in the cold vacuum of space definitely can't be great for him. His body is freezing. The vacuum is literally sucking the life out of him, and it's not like he can breathe out here either. But it doesn't matter. Vegeta still powers through. It's an intense kind of pain. And Frieza can't hear Vegeta laughing in the vacuum of space, but he could see him trying to laugh. Not like he can even catch his breath to laugh anyways. But Vegeta can't control it. It's just so hilarious to him. Even out here he can't die. Yeah, it's not pleasant, but his body is still constantly regenerating. Plus, he's basically dying and being revived a bunch out in space. Every few seconds his body gets major damage and then recovers that. Being out here is kind of a cheat code. Of course it's going to have diminishing gains soon, but he's constantly growing here as his body faces this trauma. And Frieza's at his wit's end. There really is nothing he can do. And now, Vegeta's at a point where he surpassed Frieza's power. Like I've mentioned before, there are diminishing gains. He grew a bunch at first, and after getting so many Zenkais in such a short period, the boosts now are very small. But even with it kind of falling off, he still is growing. As long as the fight continues, he grows. And it's grueling. He gets killed a bunch of times by Frieza. He succumbs to the vacuum of space. Frieza desperately tries to kill him, even though he knows it's doing nothing. But Vegeta continues to grow. So does his battle spirit. Being immortal is the greatest thing he could have wished for. He grabs onto Frieza's head. If he wants to fight out in space, so be it. He flies towards one of Namek's suns, speeding up as he gets closer, getting stronger and stronger too. First it was the cold of space, and now he's getting burned by the intense heat of the sun, as well as facing all the radiation, destroying him at a cellular level, making him grow even stronger. Huh, that's weird. Getting powered up by being near the sun. Where'd I hear that before? Anyways, Vegeta drags him closer and closer to the sun, and then flies straight through, channeling all his ki into Frieza as well. The star explodes, and it's not flying into the sun that kills Frieza, it's Vegeta. The star is destroyed in the process as well, and then Vegeta regenerates from nothing. That wasn't pleasant, but it was a nice way to kill Frieza. Although now he's a bit lost out here because he kind of forgets where Namek is. It's kind of hard navigating in the nothingness of space, but after searching around for a bit, he does find Namek again. And it's weird. He can't sense any powers on there, but he guesses it makes sense. Everyone must have retreated. He knows Kakarot was there too. He should have at least sensed him, but it looks like everybody left. The planet is completely barren. Well, that's fine. He's done with the planet. And he'll probably go back to Earth eventually, but he doesn't even really care about that right now. He's gonna go after King Cold next. He'll have to plan his next action too. Soon enough, everyone arrives back on Earth. King Kai says that Vegeta completely left Namek, and the planet is intact. So it's safe for Kami to make his wish. He wishes to revive everybody killed by Frieza's men, and King Kai communicates with the Namekians. They know to evacuate the planet soon. Mori becomes the next Elder, and they're going to use their Dragon Balls to revive Yamcha, Ten, and Chaozu. It's the least they can do for Earth's fighters. But they're also going to have to move their planet soon enough just in case Vegeta tries to come back. But thankfully, Vegeta has no reason to come back. In Vegeta's mind, all of the Namekians are gone. And despite knowing about Piccolo coming back because obviously he was there for the wish, it doesn't even occur to him that Earth's Dragon Balls might be back. As far as Vegeta knows, Namek is a completely barren wasteland now, but the Dragon Balls aren't even his focus anymore. He got what he wanted from the Dragon Balls, so he has no reason to go after them. He's immortal. He's growing ever stronger. He doesn't need any more wishes. But where will this path lead him next? This is where we'll leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part, and what's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.